Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beth and I'm coming at you today with the Behind the BookTube tag. This is a tag all about how you film your videos and I was tagged in it by Cherry Walker. I will link her video down below. Let's get started. Okay, question number one is what kind of camera do you use? Well, honestly, I am as low tech as I can possibly be and still film videos for BookTube. I use the webcam camera on my laptop. I do have a digital camera around here somewhere, but it was like the cheapest digital camera they had at Walmart 3-4 years ago. My parents bought it for me for my birthday right after I had my daughter. I had her in August, so in February they bought me that camera basically for her to take pictures of her, and I haven't been able to find it for several months. So I do have a little mini tripod I could put it on, but I don't actually have it. So if I find that, I'll probably do some vlogging. I'm hoping to have a digital camera instead of my phone to take with me and take videos this weekend of Tanganyika, but I don't know what I did with it, so we'll see what happens. Question number two is, do you use any additional equipment such as tripod, lighting, remote, microphone, etc.? No, I don't. Like I said about 3 seconds ago, I have a little miniature tripod that I could attach to the bottom of my digital camera if I did in fact know where said camera was. But as for lighting, I live in an old church building, so we've got those massive, what do you call them? The big lights up in the ceiling. And they're typically bright enough that I don't need to worry about getting more light. In fact, sometimes I turn the lights off and just let the natural light from the windows be the light for my videos because it's so bright that I look really pale otherwise. It's pretty bad. Question number three is scripted or spontaneous. How do you decide how you're going to say things on your channel? And so it's kind of half and half for me. If I'm doing mini reviews or chat videos, a lot of the time I will jot down kind of the main idea, or if I had a really neat sentence pop into my head before I made the video, I might write that down so I remember it, but most of it's going to be off the cuff. This tag video is not scripted at all, but if I'm doing especially the in-depth book reviews, I've got this notebook that has the title of the book and then my thoughts on it. This is a nonfiction book, so it doesn't have characters per se. This is The Shadows of Atlantis, which I put up yesterday, I think, in the last week anyway. And it's got the list of characters and kind of pertinent information about them, and then the thoughts that I had while reading the book. And it wasn't a whole bunch of thoughts. It was just the same thought recurring over and over again, basically, because the book was repetitive. See what I did there? Anyway, that's what I do for those. So it's about 50-50. Okay, question number four is how many takes do you do when filming? And typically that's somewhere between 3 and 3,000. I'm not kidding. I can sit there for hours and just repetitively do even the same segment. But what typically happens is I notice that it degenerates more and more the more I do it because I get so anxious and upset that I'm having to redo it that I eventually have to just delete it, walk away, and come back later. So I try to stick with somewhere between 3 and 5 takes typically. And if it's not where I want it at that point, I will stop, walk away, take some time to play act it out by myself, whatever it is I need to do, write it out and make sure that I know what I'm trying to say and can then say it to you guys. Question number 5 is if you use music in your videos, where do you get it from? And I've got a couple of different options. I use Movie Maker on Windows 10. And if you say you want to add music, it asks you if you want to go to one of their websites that they're connected to that has free music clips for you to download. So I've utilized that on a couple of occasions, but I also have very talented friends and family. So I have recorded my dad singing and he and his friends jamming out on the stage upstairs during singing school and people singing and all sorts of things. And so I have then come back and used it as a dub over for different things used in the background. And really, the moral of the story is that if you have talented friends and family, you should record them and exploit them to your own ends, because that is how the world works. Kidding! Moving on. Question number 6 is, how do you make your thumbnails? And quite frankly, I was not entirely certain that there was a way that you could make thumbnails other than making really weird poses in the middle of your video. Like, then you hold it there for a second, and then when YouTube checks out your video and is processing it, they'll see that pose. And then they give you like 3 options for your thumbnail, and you can choose whichever one matches the video best. Apparently, there are other ways you can do that and get different thumbnails that you actually want to have. I didn't know that, so I just use YouTube. Question number 7 is, what do you use to edit your videos? And as I've already mentioned, I use the Windows Movie Maker, which is obviously not the best thing ever. I can't add little things up in the corners. I can't flash a picture up for you of the book I'm reading or whatever it is, but it suits me so far. And if you have any suggestions for a better editing tool that I can get for cheap, read free, and use with my computer the way that I am doing right now, please feel free to let me know. But since I can't find my digital camera, I don't have the money to buy a digital camera, and I'm just using my webcam, it's kind of difficult to find something else that I can use that might be any better. Number 8 is, do you have any tips, tricks, or hacks when it comes to editing and videoing your videos? Filming your videos. And the biggest one for me is one that I've started recently, wherein I only go for 30 seconds or a minute to 2 or 3 minutes at a time. I have a section I want to talk about. I talk about that section, and then I stop the video. I look it over, make sure I got all the points I wanted in, add anything like the questions at the bottom, etc., and then move on to the next question or the next point. It really cuts down on editing time later, and it allows me to immediately make sure that I have what I wanted to say the way I wanted to say it without having to go back, rewatch 20 minutes of film and delete most of it, which is what I was doing before, and it was very frustrating. So hopefully that will help you guys. I know it has really helped me. Okay, finally, number 9 is, in your opinion, what makes a good video from a production standpoint? So from the production standpoint, I feel like if it's decently edited and your content is good, so I can see you, I can hear you, I can tell what you're talking about, and you have done your job as a booktuber and looked at the books or decided what you're doing for the video and are able to then tell us about that, then I feel like that is a well-produced video. If you have good lighting, if you have extra cameras, if you have editing software so you can put things up around and all that, if you have specialty music made for you, whatever, that's really cool. That's also icing on the cake for me. I really enjoy some of the newer booktubers who don't have all of that yet, so they're just kind of sitting in front of their camera or they're sitting in front of their computer, and you can see their dorm room mess behind them and the lighting's kind of sideways, but they're so passionate about what they've just learned in class or the book that they've just read. It's really, really fabulous to see that. So that is what I feel. As long as I can see you and I can hear you and you know what your content is, I think that is really what makes a well-produced video. Although, look at my videos, I could be really wrong. And that was it for the Behind the BookTube tag. I think Cherry probably tagged everybody that I was going to tag, but let's see, Acacia Ives, Crystal the Bookworm, and I don't know. If you want to do the video, do the video. Jordan at the Bookie Babe, Nash at the Book Bat. Are you the Book Bat? I get you two so mixed up. The Bookie Babe, the Book Bat, all my bookie buddies. Everybody should do this tag. Let us know how you booktube, and I will see you again soon. Bye.